7:35 on a cloudy Monday. On the phone with us this morning, Fred Ramey for a live version of Fred White and Blue. Good morning, Fred.
Good morning, Dale. How's everything on the hill?
Well, we're cloudy today. We've had some rain over the last couple of days, but things are good. We're not flooded.
Well, we got some flooding here in White County, but not here in Searcy, so we're thankful for that. I've got some farmer friends over in the eastern side of the county, which is the Delta. It's not, a 5-minute drive from here before you get into the Delta, so they've got quite a bit of cropland underwater right now, so it's a mess. But anyway, South Arkansas is covered up with water too, so It is a mess this time of year, Dale.
Yep.
Well, speaking of all that, I took my oldest daughter, Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
She is a delegate to Girls State.
Congratulations.
And I took her over there yesterday. Fortunately, I told Gina, actually I knew Gina was a delegate too, but I said, Gina, you know my wife, Dale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I said, when you went to Girls State, I said, what year was that? And she paused for a long time, and you could see the old antique wheel turning up in her head there.
You're gonna be in trouble if she's listening.
Yeah, well, she's not listening. she went into school to close up her classroom this morning. So anyway, she said it was 1980.
Is that like 35 years ago, right?
It's been a while, Dale. Let's leave it at that. But her mom and dad had to take her all the way down to Arkadelphia, to Ouachita, is where it was then. But fortunately, Gina was out of town with a friend over the weekend. They'd gone down to Hot Springs for a convention, and so I had to take Lauren. Didn't mind to, but it was here at Harding in Searcy.
Oh.
So I had a total round trip of about 4 miles.
There you go.
But,
hey, I got to compliment you on your Fred White and Blue recording we did on Memorial Day.
Well, thank you. I've
still got that sitting in idle. I want to use that, on this program here when we have right now my schedule full, and we want to make sure you got on live today. So,
well, I appreciate that, Dan.
I want to real quick. I want to tell the folks, if you haven't listened, it's still on audio on demand at mountaintalk97.com. And we talked about the lives that have been lost due to wartime. What book has never been written? What song has never been written? What mathematical formula has not been solved? What new inventions do we not have?
Right.
Perhaps because of a lost life.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your comments on that, and I've got a couple of emails on that. I believe it was on that subject. So.
Mm-hmm.
A few folks heard it, so that was good.
Mm-hmm.
But our live show is the one that really gets out there, and certainly would have liked to have been live. But anyway, we just don't quite get the coverage from our record show.
Right.
But anyway, well, Dale, I want to touch quickly on this special session that went down this past week.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In this Lockheed Martin project in South Arkansas. I was listening to your news there earlier, and you're the lady that does the news for your station explained it very well. I mean, but there still seems to be some confusion on that, because I had some folks tell me this week that they were saying, that's great that Arkansas is getting these 600 new jobs. And I said, well, now hold on a minute. This is not a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that.
Right.
The legislature just met to kind of sweeten the pot. There's what they did to make the bidding more competitive.
Mm-hmm. I talked with Senator Flippo Saturday. I was down having breakfast. If Lockheed does not get the contract, they don't get the money.
Right, exactly. I think a lot of people are misunderstanding this. They think that because the legislature met, this thing passed, that this production is about to start just any day. That is not the case. We are still in a competitive bidding process with there's a couple of other states that are trying to attract this, I believe.
Here's the reason. I talked with Senator Bozeman. It was broadcast Saturday, but I talked to him a week ago Thursday on this very issue. And he says, Dale, it's not just the Lockheed Martin contract. He says, what you got to take into consideration is the fact that with our workers being able to do this successfully, because what they're doing is manufacturing another military vehicle for the U.S. government that replaces the Humvee. Now, if we can get this going and have a good quality product, then that opens the door as a right-to-work non-union state for General Motors, Chrysler, Nissan, Volkswagen, whoever. It keeps running over to Tennessee.
Yeah, or
and Mississippi. Yeah.
Right. Well,
and he says 600 jobs now is just the start, because what they want to do, hey, we can manufacture vehicles too, just like they can in Mississippi, Tennessee, and Detroit. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Well, especially Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to point that out, that we are still in a bidding process here, and Lockheed is actually. The Department of Defense will have to evaluate these contract proposals. Probably going to be late summer before they make any decision on exactly who gets the contract, where it's going to be. Possibly as late as August. And there could be a contested. Some of these other people could contest it. There could be all kinds of little monkey wrenches thrown into this deal, but the legislature has met and in special session and passed the incentives that Lockheed had asked for in order to be able to be competitive. So it's just one step or one little cog in the wheel that needed to be done in order to attract those things. And Dale, you and I have talked before. I know there's a lot of disagreement about this amongst conservatives. They say, well, this ought to be private business. This ought to be, perhaps, private equity that's funding something like this. But the main thing is, Dale, is as much as we may not like this type of doing business, all of our neighbors around us are doing it this way.
Yeah.
And if Arkansas does not get their toe in the water, we're gonna just be high and dry.
Now, how is this different, Fred, from the Nucor Big River Steel situation? We put in what was it, 1.5 or 2.5 million dollars to actually help build a competitive facility. Now that I didn't like the way that one was handled, because we have Nucor Steel in Osceola, Arkansas, and that's the
Nucor still raising the fuss about that. You're talking about up at Blytheville, right?
Yeah, the Blytheville, Osceola, and the reason is that steel mill over there in Osceola, they really moved some steel, because you got I-55 right there and Port of Memphis for river shipping.
Yeah. I know, and there was a lot of disagreement about that, because, in fact, the disagreement over that deal was because so many of those jobs at that plant would be going to people from Tennessee and Missouri.
Sure.
And
I looked it up on a map, even Dyersburg, Tennessee, and I traveled there quite a bit. If you lived in Dyersburg, Tennessee, and worked at Nucor Steel, if you had to be at work at 7 o'clock, you could leave your house in Dyersburg, Tennessee at 6:15, weather permitting, and be at work on time.
Exactly. It's just a stone's throw, across the river there, and up even into the Boot Hill of Missouri. is not too far from there. So, yeah, there was quite a bit of opposition to that, for the fact that most of those jobs, or a lot of those, would be going to those other states, for the simple fact that those other states did not have, Tennessee, I'm not sure about Missouri, did not have a state income tax.
Right.
So they could live over there, work here, and get the benefit of the higher pay. I get it, Dale. I understand why the opposition was, but then again, I also understand that Northeast Arkansas needed the jobs, and there will be some folks that do benefit from that are Arkansas residents. In fact, when not only during the after it's completed, but during the construction phase of it. I knew people back in, this was probably back in the late 80s, I believe it was, that worked on the Nucor job.
Yeah.
Just the construction part of it, building, that were from that were from here in White County.
Yeah.
They went up there and camped out for a year or two and helped build the plant.
Huh.
So, and made a pocket full of money up there, and they're definitely Arkansas residents. So,
I made a few phone calls during the election cycle the last time to find out exactly, because of course Missouri's a union state. I don't know about Tennessee, but I think they're right to work in Tennessee. But anyway, how many people percentage-wise, live in Missouri, Tennessee, and Arkansas that are the Nucor workers. 70% were either Missouri and Tennessee. Only 30% lived in Arkansas.
Right, I know that it was pretty high. I didn't remember what it was, but then again, it'll have some residual effects up there as well, with some private vendors and businesses in Arkansas that provide stuff for that. But down here in Camden, if we do get the thing, I don't think there's going to be that issue down there.
No, because it's not generating competition, and the fact that the Lockheed Martin already exists. All this is just an extra footing on the foundation to make it so a little bit more secure for the project.
Right. Yeah, it's just a bit of an expansion for them.
But let me, somebody was asking me about this, and I said, when you look at East Arkansas, East Central Arkansas, Southeast Arkansas, Southern Arkansas, when your economy is lagging behind so poorly that you have to restore Johnny Cash's house as a tourist attraction just to bring money in, that's pretty sad.
Well, you got something against Johnny Cash.
No, I love Johnny Cash.
I'm just teasing, Dale.
I love Johnny, but I mean, think about it. I mean, you got his birthplace home, which is fine, and I'd love to see it, But the fact remains is, maybe we can get this going and bring some people in just to spend some money. That's how bad it can get in the Delta area.
I know. Well, not just the Delta, down in South Arkansas, Dale. There is just, and I travel South Arkansas quite a bit.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of jobs down there, and they need these jobs. Mm-hmm. And like you said, I think you said you'd spoke to Senator Bozeman about this. Mm-hmm. This is kind of a template here that we want to show the other manufacturers that we can do this, and therefore maybe this will plant a seed if we get the contract.
Yes.
And other companies will say, these Arkansas guys and gals, they can produce a real quality product, do it in record time, get it together, make it a high quality item, and get it on down the assembly line and at a decent price.
Yeah.
And hopefully that we can attract some other these type manufacturing. There's nothing dishonorable at all about a manufacturing job, Dale. Mm-mm. People have made good livings doing that for decades. Mm-hmm. And
but think about it. What will that do if we get that Lockheed contract? More than likely, the product that's generated would have to be transported by rail.
Well,
would that not enhance our railroads?
Possibly would, yeah.
You've already got the trucking industry, but if you've got an existing rail, if the railroads, hey, we can take this from point A to point B for you to, who knows the opportunities here.
I'll say this about the railroads because I'm in the transportation business myself, Dale. The railroads aren't hurting for business.
Oh, really? I thought, really?
No. They've got their factory with the oil mess up north, where the oil companies are having to transport a lot of that by rail.
Really?
That has taken up a lot of capacity.
Oh, okay.
And then a lot of your large, super big trucking companies are shipping so much of their product by rail now because they can charge full price.
Yeah.
Coast to coast, as if it were being pulled by truck. And they can put it on a train for about a fourth of the cost, and then have one of their other drivers pick it up on the other end. And it's a tremendous savings for them, and the customer, is none the wiser for it. If they don't know how it got here, they just know that it got here on time, and that's all that matters to them. Yeah. So
but then again, we got good highways in Southern Arkansas, so trucking is still. I mean, it's going to help one of the two industries.
Well, it'll help all of it, and they may end up shipping some of them by train, but the railroads are doing pretty well right now.
No, good.
They're doing all right, and trucking, a lot of trucking is too. Although the fuel price is still weighing on the trucking industry.
That hurts, yeah.
It's not, the fuel price never did come down like gasoline did. Mm-hmm. So anyway. But this will be a good thing if we get it. Be a great shot in the arm for South Arkansas, and I'm hoping that this legislative session work has made Arkansas the competitive enough that we'll get the bid. I hope.
Yeah, so, I really hope we get that. And our governor is working hard. In fact, I called and talked to his press secretary, and and ask if he goes, well, right now he's in California. He's at Silicon Valley trying to bring jobs to Arkansas. He's been traveling the country saying, look, this is what we can do for you in Arkansas.
Yeah, he was out there, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago he was in California.
So, yeah.
Sure has. It's what you got to do.
Yep.
Yeah, they gotta know you, be familiar with you, like they always say. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Is that how the saying goes?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to making deals, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So you want to be at the table and try to bring those jobs here if you can. So
real quick, I know all politics aside, we're thinking of our vice president's family today and the death of his son Bo.
I saw that. Yes, he's only a year older. Was only a year older than I am, Dale. That's pretty young.
That's scary.
It is. I've had a friend or two that have passed over that same thing, and it's not a way you'd want to go, Dale. It's bad. I've got my issues with Joe, but I'll tell you what, I certainly wouldn't wish that on anybody. Now that was his son that he had with his first wife.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in the auto accident.
Wasn't she killed in a car crash? Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and well, that's bad, Dale. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. We do.
Well, Fred, wrapped it up already. It went by quick today.
Yeah.
I appreciate you calling in today.
Well, I appreciate you having me, and
we'll load it up, and we'll put it on audio on demand here in a few minutes.
All right, Dale. Have a great week.
Thanks, you too, Fred. We'll be right
Bye-bye.
back. 7:54 on a cloudy Monday, June 1st. Can you believe it's already June? Let's see, summer's 3 weeks away officially? Well, looking forward to summer, 4th of July, and getting out to the lake and river. Hope you're doing the same. Be sure to check out ArkansasStateParks.com. Wow, let me tell you what, there's so much stuff on ArkansasStateParks.com. Real quick, I want to tell folks real quick about this. Knights of Columbus brat sale. They'll be having a brat sale at the Old Harps parking lot on Friday and Saturday, June 12th and 13th. And it's from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. Brats will be $3, 2 for $5. Hot dogs $1.50. Soft drinks and water for $1. Assorted snacks 50 cents. And, of course, the Knights of Columbus help the local charities. Then, during the Red, White, and Blue Festival, Saturday, June 27th at St. Peter's Parish Life Center, 7:30 to 10:30, the Paul Bunyan Breakfast, $6.50. $3 for children under 12. Once again, they benefit the charities around the area with the Paul Bunyan Breakfast and the brat sale. The Knights of Columbus, very active here at St. Peter the Fisherman Catholic Church. They do an outstanding job helping so many local charities. They don't have the list of charities on the press release, but let's support our Knights of Columbus, the local chapter here at St. Peter's the Fisherman Catholic Church. Once again, the Knights of Columbus Paul Bunyan Breakfast, Saturday, June 27th from 7:30 to 10:30. The brat sale on Friday and Saturday, June 12th and 13th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Old Harps parking lot. That wraps it up for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you then.